Welcome back to Chaos Corner, 25 feet below the surface of the earth. Down here at Chaos Corner at the world headquarters. Fans, we just came off of reviewing AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday night, March 1st, from the Cow Palace in San Francisco. The show itself was okay, but we're here on Chaos Corner to cover AEW Revolution tonight, the big pay-per-view. Fans, it's going to be an unbelievable show. Thanks for being here. Listen, this is my stress reliever, and you gotta give back, right? Always think about this as you're here on Chaos Corner. You can't get to where you're going or even where you are unless you recognize where you've been. Take a look back, look in the rearview mirror, don't stay there. The windshield straight ahead. Let's worry about today. AEW Revolution. Follow me on all social media platforms. Here on the mothership on the YouTube channel Guardian of Chaos. Follow me on Twitter in real time at Big Daddy GOC, and the GOC stands for the Guardian of Chaos. On Instagram, it's the Guardian of Chaos. On Facebook, there's two accounts. I know, I get it. There's two. J Brony and Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian. Follow me on Gitter, Gab, Truth Social, Rumble. I cover it all in the IWC because it's me, the GOC, and we're here to talk AEW Revolution. Again, down here in the bunker, it doesn't get much better than that. You can see we moved some of the cameras around, the lighting. We even have some more music, and it's been going okay. Go back and check out my last review that we just put up, AEW Dynamite from this past Wednesday. The go-home show leading into tonight, AEW Revolution. We're here on a Sunday afternoon for Chaos Corner. Grab a snack. Grab a beverage. Tell your friends. Listen, we're going to hop off of all other social media platforms, and we're coming back here, Guardian of Chaos on the YouTube channel, to talk AEW Revolution. Don't go anywhere. All right, fans, welcome back to Guardian of Chaos on the YouTube channel. We got to have beverages and refreshments, right? There's always something going on. We're here to talk about AEW Revolution tonight. 10 big matches, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, is it from the Cow Palace or the Chase Center there in San Francisco, which really is, let's be honest, outside of the ballpark, the Niners, the Giants, I get it. San Francisco's kind of like a liberal progressive shithole. Did I say that? A town, a city? Did I say that? I didn't mean it. It's a work, man. I'm joking. This is just parody. It's entertainment. It's sports. Come on, man. Revolution tonight. It's going to be, as the kids say today in 2023, a banger. Let's run down the card quickly. We'll talk about what happened at Rampage. As I said, we just put up what happened on Dynamite. The overall show is a go home for a pay-per-view. I don't know. They want you to pay $50. You get your money's worth, I guess, if you want it for 4 hours. I mean, I'm here to give you the good, the bad, the ugly. One man, unique, unscripted, unedited. You guys know that. You come into my home and I give you my over 5 decades as a fan, a scout, an agent, just like you, a smark, a mark. That's right. Yeah, I said it. And then, of course, what makes it different here? Over 3 decades as a pro wrestling manager. All the heroes and legends, 20 plus Hall of Famers, heroes, rookies, even at my home, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. That's what you get here. No paywall. No super chats, no Patreon. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Oh, we're live. Wait. I'm live, but I am taping this. Does it make sense? I think it does. So tonight, AEW Revolution, 10 big matches, including the pre-show, which is 0 hour. It's going to be, you're going to get your money's worth. I'm giving you the good, the bad, the ugly. I make it relatable. I come on here. No one else is doing this concept. We keep it simple. We're trying to get our subscribers. We want to go live. But the bottom line is we're going to do this regardless. Again, here to give back as my stress reliever in this current time, in this day and age. And, of course, for you guys, too, to give you a little entertainment relief. And you could see the passion for the old man brand, the over 50 demo god, the GOC. I mean, I'll say that to say this because I tell it like it is. Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers, Phoenix and Penta, taking on the varsity athletes, Tony Nese and Josh Woods, along with Ari Daivari. Say that 3 times fast. That was just added this past Friday night from Rampage. So did the pre-show, which will be on and I don't know, about 3 or 4 hours, about 3 hours, about something like that. Mark Briscoe, still currently the ROH Tag Team Champions, and again, Jamie Briscoe, R.I.P. It's, I don't know, how long has it been since Jamie was tragically killed in that auto accident? Thank God his family seems to be coming out of it and doing okay that ways. And as far as their health and the prayers and shout out and recognition to all their family and friends, really is unbelievable the way Mark Briscoe is handling it. And it's unfortunate. And I'm going to tell it like it is because that's what I could. I don't give a fuck, right? I can't say that too loud because I have to put money in the tip jar for my daughter. My granddaughter. The music here. If you say it too loud, it wants to interrupt you, censor you. You guys get it. This is just my opinion. The Briscoes should have been on TV TBS, TNT, long before Warner Media, all this other bullshit. It took the death of Jay Briscoe for them to finally get over their liberal, woke, progressive, whatever you want to call them. I'm not here for political stuff. I already said that that's what ruined sports to begin with and why I don't watch a lot of major sports to this day. I love baseball and hockey and football and stuff like that. But I've walked away from a lot of it. The NBA, all that, because I just don't like, that's supposed to be an escape, like pro wrestling, like being here. So I try not to push, me being a Christian and spirituality and all that stuff and political stuff, because no one really wants to hear it. They're here for me, man, the GOC. You're here for entertainment. But my original point, excuse me, that won't be edited. There's no cough button here. My whole point is that it took all this from a guy who was spiritual himself, a Christian, a God-fearing man, a loving man, a patriot, USA, Mark Briscoe, Jay Briscoe, in the business for years, Ring of Honor, been involved in all these unbelievable matches, just stand-up people from anyone that you have ever known that have talked to them. And it took this for the big corps and farmers and techs and TVs and moguls and all that to give in, to finally realize they're good people and we all deserve second chances when it comes to certain things. Right? That's what you're always crying and talking about when you try to push things on people, right? It's reality. That's a shoot right there. Okay? Anyway, Mark Briscoe, Lucha Brothers, Phoenix and Penta against Nese, Josh Woods, and Ari Daivari on 0 Hour tonight, live, AEW Revolution. Speaking of Rampage, kind of just like I said about Dynamite, Rampage from the Cow Palace, Roy Shire, big time wrestling, historical. I love it, man. Although I said what I said about San Francisco. What a shithole. Rampage live, thank God it was at least live, but again, matches that seem like they kind of lazy booking. Tony Khan, Booker of the Year, is what I say to that. No offense, PG here. It's a work, baby. Why the 3-man tag on Rampage, Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, against Claudio Castagnoli, Weeder Eula, the BCC, Ring of Honor, we'll say, against Dante and Darius, top flight guys that could really literally jump out of the building. Entertainment, unbelievable workers. It's not about always the workers. It's about the company. It's about the front office. It's about the booking. It's about the producers. It's about the agent. That's what this is about, right? You get it. The fans are who they are. Humanoids, to steal other phrases. Brain of a dehydrated BB. Pencil neck geeks. You get, right? You get it, right? Anyway, 3-way tag team match. Not quite sure leading into Revolution why you're having this on Rampage when the roster is so deep. You don't see this one on TV. This storyline's been abandoned. This one we haven't heard from. But yet, BCC goes over in this tag team match. Entertaining, all great athletes, good workers. No storyline. They're on Revolution as it is anyway for the tag team titles. I'm just saying. That's just what we're talking about. But that's what came out of Rampage. The BCC went over Aussie Open and Top Flight. They're continuing because the guy vastly underrated, underused. I said it to his face at Mohegan Sun Casino. Okay, I refreshingly nice because he's a great guy. Just give him my opinion. Saying it on plenty of my watch-alongs for AEW Dynamite. It's about time they're coming out with the Book of Hobbs so people could read it. Because they're out in Cali. I get it. East Coast, West Coast, East Coast. But don't let me get started on rap. I did that in the first video for AEW Dynamite. Book of Hobbs over Serpentico. Listen, he was the face of the Revolution ladder match. Donut winner, we'll say. We talked about all that in Dynamite. You guys will go back and check out my review we just put up. It was also done today. We talked about Dynamite and the refs holding the ladders. And so I gave my opinion on all that already. But we know he's the face of the Revolution ladder match winner from this past Wednesday night. Hobbs will face the winner of Joe and Wardlow tonight from Revolution. And we're going to get onto that. But I just want to flashback because we were talking about 0 Hour and how this 6-man tag with Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers was thrown together. I mean, I'm glad for Mark. But it took all this. That was my original point. And then Limitless Blonde or Gray, Keith Lee, and the natural Dustin Rhodes. You know my connection with Dusty, man. I love the Rhodes family, but it is what it is. Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes, again, thrown together. Don't know where this is going. I get it's about Swerve and Keith Lee and their whole mogul thing and connection and Rick Ross, the boss. You big motherfucker. But I get all that. But where has it gone? What's going on here? Parker Boudreaux. Listen, we follow each other. I like him. I respect him. The kid looks great. Greener than grass or, Kermit the Frog's finger. I'm just saying, man. I'm trying to bring levity. See, we're a kids show too, right? Oh, what's going on here? But thrown together for what? My 25 years behind the walls, right? Wrapped in chains. You guys get the subliminal, right? It's not just a gimmick, a shtick. It was a lifestyle. All right? Dustin Rhodes and Keith Lee, listen, they went over on Rampage this past Friday night. And again, I'm just giving you a quick rundown. We'll get past this. I don't want to make this another 30 or 40, 45-minute show. We got to keep your attention here, man. Keith Lee pins Boudreaux and gives him the big thump. That was nice. And Parker Boudreaux, again, the guy looks the part. Maybe he'll be something. He's still a kid. He's down with everybody. And he's the cool white kid and all that. I'm not bringing race into it. I'm just saying the way he portrays himself with the tattoos, and it was the next biggest thing. But maybe you could see why maybe NXT and WWE ran out of patience with him right now. Who knows what will happen in the future. But the mixing and matching of Keith Lee, how far we have fallen. Again, just like I've said about several others. The Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes and Swerve and Parker Boudreaux. I get it, the mogul affiliates. I understand that. I just don't understand what happened these past couple weeks. And I get it, we talk about ratings and getting over 1 million, which is really a joke. Back during the Monday Night Wars and back even earlier. Let me not get started. That's on the channel too here on Guardian of Chaos YouTube. But I really don't understand that. The bottom line is, Friday night was live. That was the good part about it. Dustin Rhodes and Keith Lee went over on Swerve and Parker Boudreaux, the mogul affiliates. Swerve Strickland had a chance to work with him personally, call his matches. Met Keith Lee in the locker rooms at Evolve 95 with PAPW and Evolve Super Show. That's right here in the shadows of Titan Towers. These guys are unbelievable, hungry, superstars, talents, even back then in 2018, 2019, unbelievable. You guys get it, right? Talk about just storylines and guys disappearing. I'm giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly, but that's what came out of Dynamite and Rampage, and which led into the Jericho and Starks and their brawl at the end because Jericho was at the broadcast booth and there's 10 guys in the booth and there's Sockface and there's my boy Taz, who I love. And, again, I told you, I talked to him at Mohegan Sun on my birthday when they were there. Unbelievable. Taz, we go back like a recliner. New Britain in the 90s, ECW. Just the different things that are going on right now with TK, Ring of Honor, AEW, what's going on with Rampage, the brawl at the end, all the guys in the booth, Jericho and Starks, and everything that Jericho touches. Although Hall of Famer, respect him in his 50s, when trying to give the rub to people as opposed to people have been involved in storylines with him, whether it be MJF to Action Andretti and umpteen other guys from the Ring of Honor Challenge when he was the Ocho, and it just really sometimes hasn't worked out recently. Maybe we could miss you if you went away a little bit, or give people the. I'm just giving you I'm giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So that's what I took out of it. And that's what went to the go-home show from Dynamite to Rampage and what's going on leading into Revolution tonight. And we're going to run down the card. Listen, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been saying it here from Chaos Corner. I did the review on Dynamite. We're having a blast here. I continue to ramble, rumble, stumble, bumble, but this is what it's all about, or what you get here at Chaos Corner. One man. I'll do this forever. Pre-show, that's where we were, 0 hour, before I went off my Rampage and Dynamite, Rampage, review, preview. You get it. Mark Briscoe, Lucha Brothers, Phoenix, and Penta against the Varsity Athletes and Ari Daivari. For the third or fourth time I've said that. We get to the main card. And this is no particular order. This is just the card. I'm not going to go through all the storylines. We'll be here forever. I got to put content king, man. We got to get to the subscribers. I have a lot of fun doing this, man. You know I'm OG, old school, but you got to be current too, baby. The BCC, Claudio Castagnoli, did I say that wrong? You know what Bully Ray said to me back in like 06, 07? I know I say it all the time, but it's persistent with every video on the channel. Busted Open Radio, two-time Hall of Famer, TNA, ECW, Tag Team Champions, the Dudleys, Team 3D, Bully, Bubba, Devon, Big Dick, Dances with Wolves, Sign Guy, Joker. Bully said to me, Bubba, while I had the Outcast Killers under my tutelage as we were going for the NWA World Tag Team titles, tables matches against those two crazy sons of bitches, the Dudley Boys, Team 3D, whatever you want to call them. He said to me, and I took the what's up from him too. It wasn't one of my finer moments. You guys get that, right? As I wrap myself and try to get out of the chains here, talking about this story, but it's pertinent. He said back in the locker room, pretty Kurt Adonis might have even been there. I'm not sure. He seems to be around for a lot of big moments, whether it's with the Samoan Dynasty and Rikishi and the legendary wrestler Charlie Haas and Umaga, and God rest their souls. And you guys get it, right? It's Bully Ray, Busted Open. Give the Guardian of Chaos 5 spots. He'll fuck up 4 of them. I consider that to be a compliment coming from him. Come on, man. Who else would say it? That's not an insult. So Castagnoli and Yuta, the BCC, aka we'll say Ring of Honor, although people are excited about the Honor Club and people that do different watch-alongs and stuff, they're getting good numbers. I get it. But I gotcha. Pay for everybody. You got to jerk off the dog to feed the cat. I was confused as a baby at Hooters, but you got to pay. Against the Dark Order, Johnny Hunji, I don't know what the fuck they call him that for, John Silver and Alex Reynolds, the former 10 or 7 or 2 or 1 in the Dark Order. Dark Order and BCC tag team match. This will be on AEW Revolution. Again, 0 hour. We also have for the my prediction there, obviously, let's not get crazy. I know I use a lot of the same words, but I'm going with Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. The BCC has been torn to tatters since Regal left. Moxley's a loose cannon. Again, the same old song and dance. Again, respect him. He's won me over, but you know what you're getting. Losing the effect with the juice and the blood, just my opinion. Listen, I'm just giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. These are just my opinions here, and I get crazy and bounce around, but I'll come back around. My mind's like a lazy Susan. It'll come back around. You know that, right? The AEW Women's title, I I get stuck on Castagnoli and things that how they're using people and throwing different things together. We know who's going to win that. Castagnoli and Yuta. We know what's going on with the BCC. Danielson's with MJF. Where does it go from here? I even have a BCC beanie. Talk about a waste. The BCC beanie, man. Who knows when I'll be able to wear it? And I'm not a mark for that. Well, maybe I am. So that's who I think will win on that. The implications of it, nothing. Again, I'm not trying to shit on Revolution. The AEW Women's title, again, I said it in the first video when I was covering Dynamite, doing the review, and I'm doing the preview for Revolution right now. The three-way between Saraya, a.k.a. Paige, and I'll get onto that, Ruby Soho, and I'll get onto that, and Jamie Hayter, the women's champion. Let me tell you something. Jamie Hayter, I know they've hot potatoed. They've gone from Rosa, and they went to Toni Storm, and Britt Baker had it, and now it's Jamie Hayter, and who knows what's going to happen. But Hayter is a credible women's champion. The three-way against Ruby Soho, who's done nothing. Listen, I'll give it to her. She's tough as nails, and I get the whole look that she's trying to pretend who she is and maybe who she is. Nice lady, I'm assuming, right? But she's done nothing. She's gotten her ass beat. And then throw in Saraya, and I get this is my house, bitch, and all. But really, when it comes to women's wrestling, Paige was great in certain ways, and I get her family history and all that. Did I say Paige? She really hasn't done anything in AEW, and they spent a lot of money, and I really wasn't impressed with her back in Paige here and there. And now as Saraya, whatever the fuck her name is, I don't see Jamie Hayter, either two of these women, Soho or Saraya Paige, having a chance against Hayter. And if it was to change, I would to change hands tonight. I would give up on women's wrestling altogether, which I'm really not crazy about lately, and the way it's been booked and used, and even in the WWE, every other match and main events, and it's got its place, and everyone's great, and athletes and all workers and talent. But I'm just telling you, it's coming. If I was in Gorilla or doing certain things or producing or as an agent, just even as scouting, I'm just giving you the observations, okay? That's where I'm coming from. So, Hayter will retain. That's my point. AEW Revolution tonight. Jamie Hayter, the champion, will go over on Soho and Saraya. Do I think there'll be some sort of interference? I'm going to say that about all these matches. There's always interference in AEW. This is TK booking. We have the Ocho. We just got finished talking about him on the last episode. Jericho, Y2J, the Wizard, whatever, all the people that sing that song. I get it if you're live, but I look at the reactions. I go by body language and expressions, and I look at people. And boy, let me tell you something, the crowd, and I'm not saying nothing against anyone as fans. I get it, man. Wow, talk about a bunch of geeks, dweebs, nerds, virgins. And those are just slang terms. Nothing offensive against anybody. I got love, man. Love vibration here on Chaos Corner, man. You know how I get down, right? Family, faith. That's a shoot, man. Don't you hate when people say that all the time? Jericho and Starks. Now the JAS, the Jericho Appreciation Society, everybody from Sammy to Tay Mello to Daddy Magic and Jake Hager and whoever else is in the JAS, Garcia, they're all supposed to be banned from ringside, but you can guarantee with Pretty Ricky Starks, again, who was hot at one time, and this guy has been totally misused and misbooked. I'm not here to shit. I'm just giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and entertain, but give you the truth of it, because I tell it like it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat or not tell you certain things. I'm not beholden to any of the companies. Nobody's paying me. Who knows who's watching, especially here on the live to tape. And again, I've always said it. I'm going to give it to you the way it is. This Jericho Starks bout, I would like to see Starks go over. I would like to see Starks win this bout and Jericho do the job or pass it somehow, or even if you wanted to work it out so both guys don't really... What does Jericho have to lose? You're already a legend. You've already done everything. You know something's going to happen here. I don't care what the rules or stipulations are here. There's going to be a fuck finish. Something's going to happen. I don't care how this ages. I'm just telling you the way I see it. And listen, we're talking about a soap opera, scripted, choreographed, predetermined, whatever you want to talk about here. There's no, it's not like the NBA, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, where there's, it's an outcome, there's a finish and all that. Don't get me wrong, there's a finish inside the pro wrestling ring, but we know it's a story. It's like going to the movies, the opera, the theater, performances, ring psychology, emotional investment, putting asses in seats, making people believe, suspending disbelief, but also being realistic. I get into it with some people and social media, which, I take a break from. That's for sure. And then when you let other people dip into your accounts and help run your accounts, or people are trying to help you, they end up hurting you more than anything. So something's going to happen between Starks and Jericho. AEW Revolution tonight. I want to get this up there. We're coming up on 25 minutes. This originally was a no-holds-barred match. Now they're calling it a final burial match. I don't know. Maybe The Undertaker shows up. I don't know. He's on tour, right? Who knows? It's all about the Benjamins with him, I understand. I don't know Mark personally. I've been in his presence before, but I've never worked with him. I'm not fortunate. I don't know him. I know people that know him, have talked about him, have interacted, and even worked with him. My connections and people that I know, especially with the Paradise 4. Tell it like it is, man. There's no bullshit. So, no holds barred, final burial, and I talked about him in Dynamite and how I love him as a heel, and not too many people can grab the stick like Christian Cage, who's hopefully going to wrap this whole Luchasaurus, whatever they sing when Jungle Boy Jack Perry comes out. And this is the final burial between Christian, Luchasaurus, who we haven't seen hiding her hair from, and whether he's injured or not, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. They're really giving Perry a push. I told you he reminds me of back in the day of one of the Von Erichs or Steve Simpson or different guys like that I could think about from back in the old territory days. But they're really pushing Jungle Boy Jack. Cage is a veteran. Again, I'd like to see veterans given the rub at this stage, and whether it's Double J slap nuts, Jeff Jarrett himself, who won't give up anything for Christ's sakes. And I apologize for saying that. I owe money in the tip jar again. But I believe something's going to happen here. They're really pushing Jungle Boy. So I'm going to call it for Jungle Boy Jack Perry. You know the history between these two. And it's about fucking time, man. Am I right? AEW Revolution tonight. Final burial. Christian Cage, Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And I'll say it like that. We have next, and you saw and heard what I talked about previously earlier in this podcast, as we're 25 minutes in here. The Elite, Twinkle Toes McFinger Bang, Kenny Omega, a la what Jim Cornette says. And the Hardy Boys, again, quoting Jim Cornette, a.k.a. Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, and I constantly get them fucked up. The Elite defend the six-man tag team titles, which they call the World Trios titles, against Malachi Black, Big Brody King, and Buddy Matthews, who's in tremendous shape, jacked, ripped like shredded wheat. The House of Black, and Julia will be around somewhere. Easy on the eyes. You guys know that. But this was thrown together. I already talked about the tag team division. I've said it previously on other reviews. Go back on the channel. Almost 2,000 videos. I do everything from all the different organizations, from WWE, AEW, MLW, NWA, Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan, my home at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. I cover it all. You guys know that in the IWC. But what we're talking about here, I talked about it, how the lights were flickered on 3 and 4 times, 3 times, like you're watching the old days of the Bray Wyatt, and they used to come. Don't get me started on Bray Wyatt and what they're doing with all that bullshit too, because I don't like it, and they're misusing him, and there's something going on there too. But that's another podcast for another time in the WWE. So, and they never had the match on Rampage. They never had the match, or on Dynamite, excuse me. They never had the match. It was shut on and off 3 times. House of Black was behind them the first time after they, carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. We already sang that in the last episode, but you get it. So they're introduced, lights go off, House of Black, and again, I love the look. I was a big House of Black fan. Go back months ago. I've been covering this now for a while, AEW, and you'll see how I feel about House of Black. And now Malachi Black left. He had mental health, and he's back, and now they're back and thrown together, and the tag team division's in turmoil, and there's chaos, and we already saw the 7-series best of 7 with the Death Triangle. This is the boys, this is the VIPs. This is made for TK, man. This is what he wants. I don't see All Elite, the Elite. You get it, All Elite, the Elite. I don't see the EVPs losing to the House of Black. I really don't. I'll be surprised if they lose it. Why? So they lost it to begin with to the Death Triangle. They won it back after the whole incident in the press conference and CM Punk, and everything's cool now, and who knows what happened, although I still think Punk's under contract. Something's going to happen. It's another podcast for another time. We'll talk about CM Punk and what I think is going to happen with AEW and TK. But you think they're going to lose to House of Black? They came back, they won that 7-man series, to now lose to House of Black? I mean, maybe if there's a fuck finish with the Mist or with the chick or whatever. I'm just telling you what I see. I don't see the Elite losing the World Trios match. That's what I see. Then we have the trilogy. This is the rubber bout between cowboy shit. I mean, I guess there's cowboys in West Virginia. Is he a real cowboy? I don't know. He's an okay worker. He never really did it for me. I got nothing against him. I respect him. But Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match against Wild Thing. You make my heart sing. You tell everything. It's easy. I said, wow. Did I get the words there? You guys get it. That's another thing for another time. Dean Ambrose. Wait. Moxley, I know, I get it. I'm just fucking with you. It's a work, man. John Moxley, Mr. Bleed Juice Blood. I get it. I love the promo on Dynamite. I understand. I get it. I like Juice. I get it. But you lose the significance and the effect of it when you do it all the time. I'm just telling you, that's how I see it as an old school tradition, honor, respect. I'm just telling you what I'm talking about. Texas Death Match, Moxley and Hangman Page, the trilogy, the bleeder. You know there's going to be blood. You know this is going to be wild. Both guys are going to work their ass off. I know I'm bitching and complaining and critiquing, giving you the good, the bad, the ugly on AEW because of what's been trending over the last bunch of weeks. I'm just telling you. Plus, I'm excited to be back here in the bunker, 25 feet below the surface of the earth. I'm excited to be back down here. I believe no fucking way Moxley loses, and I know I say that a lot. And hey, I'm right 8 out of 10 times, 2 or 3 times out of 10. I'm wrong. I'll eat crow. I eat it. I like to consider myself to be a guy who could admit when he's wrong. I mean, I tell it like it is. We all sin. We're all sinners. You know, he gave us that right. He died for us on the cross. We're all sinners. Again, I don't want to get into that. I try to give an escape from all that. It's my channel, so I give my beliefs. But I don't see Moxley losing to Page on this. And again, Moxley's won me over, but I'll say that to say this. I'll go with Moxley in the trilogy here. And then I think Moxley needs to maybe take a break. And as Jim Cornette says, and I quote him because I listen to him along with a lot of other guys, you know that, and we'll run him down in a minute. Renee Moxley, good. She's no different than anybody else. It's overkill now. Just like what I say about the WWE female ring announcer, whatever her name is, Don. I don't know what her name is. I don't know in the WWE. They're screaming, yelling. Why do people do that as ring announcers? That's why I love Matt DeCourt. I love you, Matt DeCourt. I don't know if you ever watched this 35 minutes in. The voice of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. The voice of New England. The voice of the Northeast. And I predict someday the voice of the nation. The voice of the people. Matt DeCourt, PAPW ring announcer. That's right, I said it. But Texas Deathmatch, Moxley over Hangman. Let's see what happens. Maybe you should take a break. Renee Paquette is no different than anybody else. She's talented, I get it. Man, but they give her a lot of credit, whether she was in the WWE, AEW. Nice to get paid because of the relationship to her husband, who you know. I'm not jealous. I'm not hating. Congratulations, man. I love prosperity. It's what it's all about, man. You got to go out and earn it. It's on the content of who you are as a person, your character, not your color, your gender, your identity, none of that. It's on the content of who you are as a person, how hard you work. That's supposed to be the American dream. Don't get me started on Dusty Rhodes. I love Dusty. But that's what I'm talking about with Moxley, Hangman Adam Page, Texas Death Match, the trilogy. Again, there's 10 matches, and I covered a little bit of Rampage here, so bear with me. Stay till the end here. The AEW tag team titles are on the line. And again, and I said it, whether it's the three-way women's match, matches of the ladder matches, the casino tag team matches, whatever the fuck it is, I don't like it in these types of matches. We got a three-way here, four-way actually. Uno, dos, cuatros. Right, we have a four-way for the tag team titles. The defending champions, the Guns, the Gun Club, whatever you want to call them, scissor me daddy asses, kids. I think they're going to be good. Still a little green, but they got potential. I like the Guns. The defending champions against Max Caster. I said a M-A-S, a T-E-R, a G with a double E. I said I go by the unforgettable name of the man they call the Master G. Well, my name is known all over the world. All the foxy ladies and pretty girls are going down in history as the baddest brother there ever could be. Now I'm feeling the highs and I'm feeling the lows. I get right back into... Well, we were talking about Max Caster. He's not the only one. Okay, before you get fucking crazy, everybody loves the Acclaimed. No. Bowens and Caster, everybody doesn't love the Acclaimed. I get it, you were over with the fans a certain second. I get it, I respect that, man. I respect your skills. You lost the titles, they missed the call maybe and should have gave it to you earlier, maybe in Chi-Town, and I get it, but what's happened since then? Stay in the ring, guys. I'm not telling you what to do. Nobody wants to take advice, right, Hangman Page? The fucking problem with a lot of people. And I'm not defending Punk or anybody in that whole situation, the brawl and Larry the dog and everything else. I'm just saying, Mindy's Bakery. I'm just referring. You guys, if you follow along, you know what's going on. And I'm sorry, we're going to probably end up being here the full 45 minutes. So I hope you bared with me here. AEW Revolution, big pay-per-view tonight. We're here in the bunker, live to tape, Chaos Corner. With your old buddy. So the four-way tag team match is what we're talking about for the AEW tag team titles. The Guns against Slapnuts and Black Machismo, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. And you know my connection with Jay Lethal. We worked several events together. Everything from Ring of Honor to Defiant to Acid. Listen, I'm not saying I'm boys with him. We talk. We exchange numbers. We've worked together. I've picked his brain. I've talked to him. I'm familiar with him. We have a history. I've called his matches. You get it, right? That's how you get around. That's what you get here. That a lot of motherfuckers front. You get the truth here. Sorry about the cussing. I apologize. I really do. Somebody like Evan Ginsberg or John J. Filippelli or certain people, Steven Rosenberg, these are all guys from Yes Network, 350 Days, Sinclair Broadcasting. Yeah, I talked to all these guys. They would say, okay, Oz, can you change the glasses? Can you tone it down a little bit? And I guess they're right. They didn't get where they got for no reason. Even in that cocksucker Dino Costa. Sorry, I take that back. Patrick Ryan, Dino Costa. You guys get it. So we were talking about the four-way. It's the Acclaimed, Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, the Guns, the defending champions, and this is what I talked about earlier. Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Stick to the gimmick. Do what you got to do. I know you can work. I've seen your work. I've seen you on Independence. I'm familiar with who you are. Well, I get it. But you can't have both, man. Get in the ring, work when it gets time. They let them throw over the Butcher and the Blade and the tag team battle royal. That's how they got here to begin with, to sub in. I don't like any of it. The storyline, it's lazy booking. I'm just telling you how much it's changed with AEW over these last several weeks, these last bunch of months, guys. I'm just saying. I get passion. This is what you get from me. Listen, I'm damn near 60 years old, and this is the passion and commitment you get, and the experience, wisdom, and knowledge which you get here on the channel. Paying it forward. Stress reliever. You see it now, right? No other channel does it like this. And no offense to the people I moderate for, because I love them and they're the best in the business. JD from New York, off the script. The Don Tony. Chi-Town Smart, Heel Jesse. Hey, listen, there's everybody. The Wrestling Council, PWZ Podcast. I can go on and on and on. But you guys get it. So the four-way here, Orange Cassidy, the gimmick, again, I say it, whether it's Jericho, can't miss you if you don't go away. I know I'm being a little animated, I get it. I had the Red Bull, I get it. Whether it's Moxley bleeding all the time, or even whether it's now with Orange Cassidy and the whole gimmick, pockets and all that. Just telling you, it doesn't work. And what they allowed him to do to Big Bill, it's almost a sin in pro wrestling. I'm telling it like it is, man. You leave a comment, tell me. So that's the four-way. Orange Cassidy and Danhausen, Jarrett and Lethal, the Acclaimed. I'm sure Scissor Me Daddy ass. Again, he's in great shape. Love him. Glad he's making money in history, longevity, whether it's Jericho or Billy Gunn. I love it. Giving it back. Hey, Jake Snake Roberts came back. I saw recently. Love it. Against the defending champions, the Guns. This is going to be total chaos, and that's pun intended. So who the fuck knows what's going to happen in this match? And if they change the titles, whether it's the Acclaimed winning it back or Slapnuts and Jay Lethal, because who knows where Sanjay Dutt and, Zippy the Pinhead, a.k.a. Satnam, saying, I got nothing against him. I just like using Cornette phrases, even though I think Cornette's an asshole and there's a lot of other views. In pro wrestling, he's dead balls on. So I'll say that to say this because I tell it like it is. There's going to be some sort of interference, fuck finish. It's going to be crazy. Like a few of these matches are going to be tonight. Revolution, live to tape, pay-per-view, AEW. Hey, 10 matches. It'll be worth the cash. So that's the four-way tag team match. If they change it, you're bouncing back and forth with the titles. Whether it was FTR, the Acclaimed, you wanted to do things with Swerve and Keith Lee, and the way now you're going to hot potato it if they lost it and they want it back. Now the Gun's going to give it back. Billy Gun's going to get involved. He's going to turn. We know it's going to happen sooner or later, right? So that's the four-way tag tonight. Revolution, AEW, and then the TNT title, and we know who's waiting in the wings. The big boy. The Book of Hobbs, Willie Powerhouse Hobbs, who they've been floundering with him along with numerous others because the roster is so bloated. But again, I'm just telling it like it is, how I see it, because I love the product. I watch it. I love all wrestling. I watch all wrestling. But I'm going to give you reality. It's my right. The TNT title, Samoa Joe, who I had a chance to break bread with and work several events with. What a guy, great guy, what a talent, legit badass. I say it about Joe. I say it about other guys that I've hung out with and had a chance to have been blessed and fortunate enough to work with and be on the same shows. Yeah, man, Samoa Joe. I love his gimmick, always have, love his work, respect him. Against Wardlow, who's another guy who I also happened to get to meet Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs and Taz again and Shane, the big dude, AEW security guys. Because it was at my birthday, Mohegan's son. So I got a chance to meet the guys. People we talk to, people we know people. We go back like a recliner, like 8 tracks. You guys get it. But again, good guy, cordial, great to meet. Gave me and the wife respect. Shook my hand, look you in the eye. Same thing with Hobbs. I love that. Taz, yeah, pick a brain, sit down, wait for the valet. Remember back in the day, I talked about it before. Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. The business is the business, brother. Don't trust anybody. Anyway, that's another point for another time. Samoa Joe and Wardlow, again, I'll use the kid's phrase, slobber knocker, irresistible force, immovable object, banger, whatever it is. The former Ward Joe, the different storylines. I didn't like it. It's been lost. We'll see what's going to happen here. Samoa Joe and Wardlow. I don't like the new haircut. I'm a big Wardlow fan. I liked what they were doing to begin with when it was kind of like a Goldberg gimmick. Not saying they were copying it, but for whatever it was, the fans were buying into it, and the momentum was broken with MJF, and now it's broken again. It was broken again. We'll see what happens. I would like to see, for Wardlow's career, you'd like to see Joe give him the rub. But I love Joe, and he's still got a lot left in the tank. He's legit badass. This would be an interesting pick. I'll go with Wardlow on this one. I don't know how that's going to age. I love Joe, his gimmick as a worker, and I like him as respect him as a person. It's going to be a good match. Wardlow and Joe for the TNT title, and then Hobbs is in the wings. So that's why I'm going to lean towards Wardlow. Joe's had a great career. He's on the back end. Keep that in mind here in Chaos Corner. Which leads us into what I would be assuming, again, these were in no particular order: AEW Revolution, the pre-show 0 Hour, Chase Center, Cow Palace, whatever you want to call it, San Francisco, the 4th annual AEW Revolution, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live to tape here at Chaos Corner. The main event, the Triple B, our boy Max, MJF, takes on Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, a.k.a. Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him, Brie Bella, Birdie Bella, I don't know, man. It's going to be Danielson and MJF. I like the promos. I'm not saying they shouldn't have built up things more in a lot of these matches and given more time. Than the WWE's doing the same thing right now with WrestleMania right around the corner, and who knows about how long-term booking, lazy booking, hotshot booking, whatever the terms are they use today. Enough time to invest and get the people to buy in. But it's MJF and Danielson in a 60-minute Iron Man match. Now, there haven't been many. There have been some. I believe this is going to go a while. It's going to be a long night tonight. I hope I'm getting this up right away. AEW Revolution, MJF and Danielson. You knew this was coming. You saw it was coming. I don't see MJF losing the title tonight. I really don't. I don't think Danielson's going to take it. Now, would I be surprised? Would I be shocked? And would I be totally disappointed? No, I wouldn't be if the Dragon wanted the American Dragon. I wouldn't be. But then you're taken away from MJF and where you're going. You just started with his reign, and I don't think MJF, just like I said with Roman Reigns, shouldn't lose that title yet. No, don't do it. I'm going to take MJF over Danielson for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship tonight in a 60-minute Iron Man match. And this podcast, Chaos Corner, is going to be less than 60 minutes, too. AEW Revolution. I wanted to give you the preview, and I'll probably end up, no guarantees, I'll probably end up giving you a review. There's always content here on the station. So thanks for being here. I'm bouncing around. You know I got the back issues, but I'm feeling great. I'm getting in shape. Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling is my home. You can always catch me on all those social media platforms. I'm always here. I'll be back in the bunker. We got a lot of good things going on. I know it's tough times out there in a lot of different ways, but stay with your faith. Walk in faith. Stay with your family. Keep your loved ones close. Nothing's guaranteed. Worry about today. Stay within the day. Look up. And be a leader, not a follower. So that's my message here at Chaos Corner. Thanks for being here. I believe I covered everything I want. I know I stumbled off on Rampage a little bit, but I wanted to give you the preview of running in from the last show, AEW Dynamite to Rampage, to AEW Revolution tonight, the lead-ins and what's going on. And I haven't been totally happy with the AEW product now for weeks and weeks. No matter what the fucking ratings say. And I apologize for cussing again. I bet you I owe, how many times I think in these last two podcasts, which ended up being like 2 hours total. I split them up into two. Again, a lot of things here on Guardian of Chaos YouTube, so I hope you stay here, catch whatever part you catch, and I'll make this as a premiere. Follow it. I got a lot of things going on here. You'll learn information, whether you think it's useless or not, but you'll be entertained. So I appreciate you guys. I'm glad you're here. The music is just playing along. You guys get it, right? But I'll be back with plenty of more content. Different looks, different things. I figured I'd get back into the garb. We're back here in the bunker. So I'm going to say that to say this. I appreciate you guys being here. Follow me, as I said, on all those platforms. We usually put out stuff on Mondays and Fridays, and we'll do things on the weekends when there's pay-per-views, reviews, previews, historical perspectives, all the live groups and take-longs. You're not going to want to miss it, whether it's Chaos Corner or anything else I put up here from even the professional footage. So stay tuned, fans. Thanks for being here on Chaos Corner. And tonight, I don't think you're going to want to miss this AEW Revolution. And I will probably be back for an excellent, excellent review. Don't you dare miss it. You thought I stopped, huh? I got you on that one.